All right, bye. Ready? Testing, testing. Welcome back to the Mamba Source. Welcome back to the Mamba Source. And we are here to react to a video. We got a good video here for you. Title is Mom Horrified After 12-Year-Old Son's Confession. It's supposed to be a hot one, y'all. Let's listen. Let's go.
Be nice, baby. It's okay.
Because you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better.
When they pull this GPS, will it show that you were at home in your bed, or will it show that you were somewhere else? That's the question that was asked.
Strong black woman. Let's go.
You don't know?
This is something that's serious. You will kill my family. What am I supposed to do?
Robert, you don't understand that you're just as guilty if you know who did it and you're not saying nothing. That's guilty by association.
I don't know. Snitching on everybody. Who's gonna get charged? Why did you make me stay?
I said I don't know.
Now my life is ruined.
When the bodies of three victims were discovered over a period of several days in the same neighborhood in Marion County, Florida, the police didn't know what to think.
Fair use, y'all.
This would
Fair
set
use.
the tone for the rest
This
of the
stream is
case,
protecting of
as the emerging
reactionary
suspects all seemed
fair
intent
use.
on blaming each other. The identity of the alleged perpetrator, along with the motive for the heartless murders, turned out to be more alarming than anyone wanted to believe. The police first learned that something was terribly wrong just before midnight on March 30th, 2023, when they received this 911 call.
There's a girl laying in front of my road and she's dying.
Okay, is she awake?
She's dying. I don't know.
She's dying.
She's bleeding out of her head. She's gargling on her blood.
You need to turn her on her side so she doesn't choke, okay?
It doesn't matter what side, like on what side.
No, just turn her on her side so she doesn't choke on the blood, okay?
Yeah.
Is she awake?
No.
Okay, is she breathing?
She's breathing.
Oh.
Do you know how far they are?
No.
All right, first problem. Is she awake? No. Is she breathing? Yes. What?
I don't have an ETA, but they are on the way, okay?
Deputies from the Marion County Sheriff's Department arrived moments before the ambulance. While paramedics rushed to try to save the victim, the deputies tried to get a grasp on the chaotic scene. Within 5 minutes of the ambulance arriving, the victim was on her way to the nearest hospital. The Sheriff's Department was left to pick apart the seemingly inexplicable scene.
She's not responsive?
No, not responsive. No, there's no ID, no nothing.
Young girl, younger girl?
The shoe's right there, and that's been moved.
She was right there, right?
Yeah, there's blood everywhere. I was not expecting that.
No. Well, I thought it was going to be BS, honestly.
Yeah, I immediately thought she had got hit by a car. And I seen the big, but I've never seen an exit wound in the head.
Yeah.
So
Did
I
you see
wasn't
it?
aware. Oh yeah, she's laying down. It's all pulled out. I mean, it was
And she was still breathing?
rapid breathing,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Medic said she ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, if she did, that's wild.
When police made contact with the 911 caller, they learned that he was just as confused about the situation as the deputies. He only became aware that something was amiss when he got a call from his neighbor across the street.
You didn't hear nothing
She
at all?
told me it sounded like someone crashed into my dumpster, and then there was like 2 shots.
The neighbor in question made her way over to talk to the deputies directly. Unfortunately, what she said only served to make the situation even more mysterious.
So, around what time did you hear? You said it sounded like a gun, like a.
Yeah, it wasn't a loud gunshot. I would say about 20, 30 minutes ago. It wasn't a loud gunshot, but I heard about 4 or 5. And I kind of blew it off casually. And then I just looked out of my window because I did think it was strange with it, how late it was. And I saw the car run into the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
And once I seen the car run into the dumpster, I stepped out my door and I seen a man run out of the car down the road towards my yard. And I yelled at him, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then I seen him run back towards the car, take a minute. And I was calling him because it was his dumpster, and I seen him skirt off into the neighborhood.
Did you see if anybody was in? Was it only one? Was there?
I
several
only
people?
seen one person running, and it was a male. It had a male figure, had a hat on. I want to say he was like 5 foot, maybe, but it was only one dude running down the road.
This once again tracked with the evidence, as police found several sets of footprints at the scene.
Did you hear the crash first, or did you hear what sounded like
I heard the gunshots first.
Where did you?
The deputies closed down the main entrances and exits to the Forest Lakes Park neighborhood, hoping to catch the alleged shooter as he attempted to flee. Unfortunately, the area was heavily wooded, with plenty of places to hide and lots of back roads. This made for a difficult search for police, and an easy getaway for the alleged perpetrator. Meanwhile, the hospital where the victim was being treated was able to provide some help in that regard. They identified the girl as 16-year-old Layla Silvernail. Her grandparents, who were her legal guardians, were understandably distraught. Detectives first made contact with her grandfather, Kenneth.
Layla was found, she was apparently with a gunshot wound, and she was taken to the hospital. So that's part of the reason why we came here, was to let you know about her status, but we also wanted to know any information that you had about who she was with yesterday, who she hanged out with.
What's she in the hospital for?
She has
She
a
was
gunshot
shot.
wound.
Huh? She was shot. You're kidding.
No, that's what I told you when
This
I
is
came.
what I've been trying to tell her. You're hanging around with a crew.
Kenneth hurried to the back of the house to get his wife, Lisa. Layla's grandmother only seemed to become more distressed when the detectives tried to ask her questions.
Lisa, come here. Lisa, have a seat right here.
Is my granddaughter okay? Will she be okay?
She's gonna be in the hospital. I don't know anything. That's why I said
I'm a victim advocate, okay? I'm here for you. Have a seat for us. We need some information so we can find out who did this, okay? I'd like to know too.
We
I will
need.
go and I will shoot their asses. Oh no!
Listen now.
Where was she shot at? Does anybody know anything?
She was shot in the head. Listen, that's all we have right now, okay?
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
The situation was actually more horrifying than Lisa knew.
So you want to know where to invest $1,000 right now? Well, forget about stocks, crypto, and real estate, because there's a little-known trend.
Early on March 31st, the morning after the shooting, the police stumbled upon the last thing they were expecting. Just blocks away from the crime scene where Layla was found, police discovered a second victim, also suffering from a gunshot wound. There was little doubt that the two cases were connected, which made the search for the shooter all the more urgent. Back with Layla's grandparents, the detectives desperately tried to find out who might have been with Layla that night. Since they'd already found 2 victims, they had to wonder if more of her friends were hurt, or in danger too.
Lisa, look at me. Who was she with yesterday?
She came here with
She came here with them, and I'm gonna tell you everything because I don't like the people she hangs around with anyway.
Okay, that's what we need. That's what we need.
Lisa said Layla was almost always with her boyfriend, 17-year-old Michael Hodo. She also directed the police to Layla's best friend, who might have more information about her activities the day before the shooting. Another name came up too, and it was one police were already familiar with.
And then that runaway girl, Camille.
Okay.
She was with her too yesterday.
Camille Quarles, 16, had been reported as a runaway by her aunt and legal guardian several weeks prior. It was an open secret that she'd been staying with Layla at her grandparents' house, but no one had successfully brought her home yet. When police made contact with Camille's aunt, Amy, she was not shy about expressing her frustration with the investigation.
I did call it in this morning to ask somebody to go through there, and nobody has called me back. I've called 5 or 6 times a day since she's been gone.
Even worse, Amy's son was hearing all kinds of gossip about the case at school. People were saying Camille had also been shot. The names of the victims and the location of the crime was seemingly common knowledge. Disturbingly, police had not yet confirmed if Camille was involved. Also, they'd not yet released the names of the victims or the location, which meant whoever was spreading this information had to be involved.
And there was another body discovered this morning in that neighborhood.
Okay.
I want to know if it's my child.
Okay. The second person is not Camille. I can't identify who that person is, but it's not her.
The identity of the second victim only made the case more dire, especially in regards to Camille's safety. Frustratingly, the police were still in the dark about most of the lead up to the crime, up until they got in touch with Layla's best friend, Gabby. She was more forthcoming and told the detectives that she'd spent the day with Layla and her boyfriend, Michael Hodo, and several other teens who would soon become an integral part of the case.
Was there anybody else in the car other than you, Layla, anytime during the day?
Camille was there.
This was the second statement placing Camille at the scene of the crime, but disturbingly, there was still no sign of her. Prior to the shooting, Camille's aunt said she'd caught sight of her at the park once or twice and kept a close eye on her Instagram feed to see what she was up to. Since the night of the 30th, though, it had been radio silence. Back with the detectives, Layla's friend recounted their travels throughout the day and who else was with the group.
We went to Rob's. We went to I don't know if it's abandoned. Do you know what a trap house is?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently, this kid Rob, I don't know him personally, but they do.
Okay.
They're friends or whatever, and we went over there and we chilled over there.
Significantly, Gabby said that Layla had been the one driving all day, but the only sign of her vehicle, a white Chevy Cruze, was a tire track left at the crime scene. The police hoped that finding the vehicle would offer some insight into what happened the night Layla was shot.
Do you know his last name or anything else about Rob?
No, I don't really know if Rob is his real name or not, because I know some people know him as Reaper, Rob, and stuff like that. So
Was anyone else there at the house besides the three of you and Rob?
well, there was this kid 3-5, but I don't know his real name.
What's 3-5 look like?
I don't know. He's 12. He's a little
Is it
kid.
12-year-old?
Detectives knew they needed to track down Rob and 3-5. They started with Rob, who they believed to be 17-year-old Robert Robinson, who was already incarcerated at a juvenile detention facility for a different offense. When detectives asked him about 3-5, he directed them to a boy named Christopher Atkins. Shockingly, Gabby was right. He was only 12 years old. Since Chris and Rob were both minors, their mothers were asked to join them at the police station before any conversations took place. Chris's mother, Ashley, was the first to arrive.
I don't understand. Where the hell is my son? If he being questioned, why the fuck I'm not in there?
What's things on? Where's my son? He's in the other room right here. They talking to him? Not yet. No, they're all getting their stuff together.
It seems she wasn't convinced they weren't already questioning him because Ashley did her best to hear what was going on in the other room. After almost 2 hours of waiting, she was finally escorted to the next room to join Chris, who was visibly trembling.
Hey, can I put you on? Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Do you want another jacket? That's okay. Are you sure? You look like you're cold. Let me get you.
You say you have 4 siblings? Okay. You guys get along okay in the house?
You're not a child, you're a man. So stop wearing so many layers to go outside and get the...
The detectives set about gradually breaking the ice with Chris, all the time appearing hyper-aware that he was only 12 years old. After taking all necessary precautions, like making both Chris and his mother aware of their
Please see the weekly email for the flyer. All donations should be made during December 16th through December 20th. Here is
be 17-year-old Robert Robinson, who was already incarcerated at a juvenile detention facility for a different offense. When detectives asked him about 3-5, he directed them
besides the three of you and Rob?
Well, there was this kid 3'5", but I don't know.
All right, y'all. We had a little technical difficulty. We're back. We're back. All right, let's go.
His real name.
What's 3'5" look like?
I don't know. He's 12. He's a little kid.
12-year-old?
Detectives
12-year-old.
needed to track down Rob and 3'5".
12-year-old.
They started with
3'5"
Rob, who
is
they
a
believed
12.
to
I
be
guess
17-year-old Robert
3 feet, 5
Robinson,
inches
who was
tall.
already
Maybe that's where he gets
incarcerated at a
16.
juvenile detention facility for a
Find out.
different offense.
We'll find out.
When detectives asked him about 3'5", he directed them to a boy named Christopher Atkins. Shockingly, Gabby was right. He was only 12 years old. Since Chris and Rob were both minors, their mothers were asked to join them at the police station before any conversations took place.
Robert actually
Chris's
looks like he's
mother,
older than
Ashley,
that.
was the first to arrive.
Hard
I
living.
don't understand. Where the hell is my son? If he being questioned, why the fuck I'm not in there? Which state is it on? Where's my son?
She getting
He's in
nervous.
the right here. They talking to him?
Not yet. No, they're all getting their stuff together.
I went to sleep for a little bit, and I heard something outside. I opened the door. There was nothing outside now. I think I went to sleep.
So I think what you just told me was what you probably had rehearsed in your mind several times to tell a police officer if you ever had to talk about that Thursday night. Because sitting here and talking to you with your mom here crying and knowing that you have these siblings, you're probably in sort of an embarrassing and shameful position. If you are sorry for what happened, repent for it and start from the very beginning and go to the very end without me having to pull it from you. Because somebody that I have to pull each individual action from, that tells me that they don't really want to say what they did wrong, that they don't feel bad for it.
Mm-hmm.
Reaper down there has been super honest. He took him a minute to get comfortable with me, and he's told me everything down to details that only he would know, and that's involved in
That nobody else would know.
Some of the details, he points finger at you.
17-year-old Rob, also known by the concerning moniker Reaper, was also being questioned. Just like Chris, Rob and his mom Erica were both advised of their Miranda rights before the interrogation commenced.
I'm trying to bring the best way to say this to you guys. We're investigating several different incidents that occurred over the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
One being a theft of side-by-side. One being the theft of, a burglary. We're investigating a robbery, and we're investigating a murder. Okay? Murder. Mm-hmm. So,
The first ones you named is believable. The last one you named is not. You don't have the heart to keep them. I know that for a fact.
okay, what'd you do on Thursday all day?
I mean, I was home all day. Like, I was home all Thursday.
Okay, who were you with? Did anybody come over? Did we hang out with anybody?
At
Did
like
you
1
go
o'clock.
anywhere with anybody?
I didn't go no. Came over at like 1 o'clock.
What'd you guys do then?
We just chilling. Literally, like, we just chilling.
Okay, was anybody with Sarah at the time? How did he get to your house? Things like that?
Supposed to drove to my house. It was him, Landon, Layla, and there was another girl with them. I don't know her name.
Sosa was a nickname that Layla's boyfriend, 17-year-old Michael, used. Michael's father had last seen him about 6:30 last night, around the same time Gabby said she parted ways with the group. Landon was another local boy who police determined didn't know anything that would aid the investigation. As for the unnamed girl, the police likely wondered if she could be the missing Camille and why she hadn't been seen or heard from since.
Did you go anywhere after 6:30, Rob?
Oh, why do y'all keep asking that?
I just
We
want
keep
to
asking
because we've been working
on our investigation. What do y'all think happened, bro? I'm telling you, you understand in the house you understand that night. Like, I only seen Sosa one time that day.
Rob, we know you were out of the house after 6:30. Okay? We know you were with around 7:00 p.m.
Thanks to CCTV footage,
They got a
police
camera.
believed that Rob, along with others in the friend group, had been involved in the theft of a vehicle and an armed robbery that night. As serious as these crimes were, they paled in comparison to what police believed happened later.
It's about the murders.
Everybody be asking me, man, does the Bluetooth actually work?
Bro, you get a month for.
Back in the room with Chris, his mother tried to.
We gotta get to the truth, y'all. We gotta get to the truth.
Layla was there. And that was it.
The police knew by now that there were more people at the house than just Chris, Rob, Michael, and Layla.
Did you go anywhere with them that night?
No, I ain't go nowhere with them. I just told you. I went, I swear to God, was at the house. They said they was finna leave. I went back home. Actually, Mom, I didn't come in until like late. I didn't come in till after 7 anyways.
You don't know what time you came home. Now,
But they talking about what that Mulaka at 7:10.
what I'm saying is you don't know what time you came home because you defy your curfew so much. You don't know what time you came in. It might have been 8 o'clock. It might have been 7:30.
I was not back in there.
You know what I'm saying?
At
So
all.
you don't know. What I'm saying is if you know something that they're trying to get out of you, I don't give a who your friends are, who you trying to protect. I gotta get to work. And I'm sick of dealing with this jail. Could you choose to have friends? You need to be honest.
Unfortunately for Rob, the police already knew that he was still holding back the dark details of what he got up to that night.
What about his cell phone? Do you own that phone?
Yeah, I own that.
They trying here.
In your bed, or will it show that you were somewhere else? That's the question that was asked.
She tired
You
of
don't know?
She's tired of
What y'all want me to do? Like, I'm telling you stuff.
They want you to tell them mine, and I'm
Tell
telling
the
them
truth, boy. Tell the truth. I didn't say you was not there. You weren't there. But first and foremost, first and foremost, you lie so much. I don't know what to believe what comes out your mouth. You didn't burn the bridge that's been gone. Let's get that understood. Like I was like, but what I'm saying is, you so quick to want to protect people. And let me finish. You so quick to want to protect people, don't want to snitch, want to be cool this and cool that, and not be known as a is in the paperwork and all of this, that you're willing to sit here and go down for murder that I know you didn't do. You know he didn't do it. Hold on.
That
Slow
you
down,
didn't
Mom.
do it. But
Hold on.
you
We don't know that yet.
association because you don't want to tell who the did it.
You don't know.
That's the problem.
I did not kill nobody. I did not kill nobody.
Did somebody you know do it?
Like what the
No, I don't know nothing about no murder. I don't know nothing about no murder.
And if you lying, you standing on this island by yourself. Because if you got something to tell these people, because they have a way to tell if you're lying.
The best way to tell if Rob was lying was Chris, who was still in the room next door. He was sharing a bit more than Rob,
go back
and
to
some
Chris
key
there.
differences in their statements
Chris
stood
is
out
more
already.
forthcoming.
What do you think he's going to tell us, Robert?
He's not going to, with me, I swear to God, he's not going to, I didn't do anything. I promise you I didn't do anything. Who did?
Chelsea.
I don't understand why you keep lying. And then you go back.
It's going to be a snitch. And
it doesn't matter.
Kill me. It don't matter. That is a snitch and I would die. This is not a joke. You would die. Like, you would die for snitching out here. People die for that. Real talk. Obama people get blocked and killed for snitching.
We're talking about life sentences here.
Right. And this is like really just listen. Your actions and the people you choose to hang with and all of this
I didn't kill anyone.
is slowly killing me. I should just pause. Let me talk. I'm supposed to be at work right now. I just took a promotion. I can't keep missing work. All the that you are doing, or the people you hang with, or just any of that. Like I don't know if you know or not, but they threatening me with contempt of court because I don't come to none of your court stuff for that that you got going on. I make sure you get there, but I cannot keep missing work. And you sitting here in my face telling me that you don't want to snitch because your life is they gonna kill you? Pops!
It wasn't me.
I didn't say
nobody.
Was it then, buddy? Give up the sauce. Give up your sauce.
I understand that you're just as guilty if you know who did it and you're not saying nothing. That's guilty by association.
Oh, I felt that.
It's not clicking for you.
I felt that, Mama.
Know who killed these kids? Then you need to tell them.
Some part of this tirade must have made an impression, because at long last, Rob shared his version of events.
Taj killed all three of them.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Case closed.
Tell me about it.
Done. Let's go.
Were you there?
The whole story?
Were you there?
The whole story.
Let him talk.
I say the whole story.
Tell me the whole story.
Rob just mentioned 3 victims, but the detectives had so far only asked him about
Asked you
2.
for 2, you gave him 3.
Not only did this grab their attention, but they likely suspected that the Taj that Rob mentioned was 16-year-old Taj Bruton, with whom they were already acquainted due to previous cases. Unfortunately, this didn't mean they knew where to find him. Several weeks earlier, Taj cut off his ankle monitor and went on the run. The detectives would focus on this after they got more of the story from Chris, who picked up the story after he said Rob, aka Reaper, knocked on his window.
Okay, Reaper knocks on the window. He knocks on the window. He said, "Come on, we finna go see some girls or something." Then we went out. And
we need to see girls.
This girl and the boy picked us up. I don't know
You don't know girls.
This girl and the boy. Describe.
From Rob's statement, the police believed this had to be Michael and Layla. He made no mention of Camille, however, even when he explained where everyone was sitting in Layla's car. The seating arrangement would be crucial later. Layla was driving, Michael was in the passenger seat, while Chris and Rob were in the back seat. But they weren't alone.
Then somebody came in the car. I don't know what his name. It was like somebody in all black.
Okay. And how does this person look? I know you said he's wearing dark colored clothes, right? I heard you say that.
Ski mask on too. Yeah.
I'm telling you what, if somebody got in the car wearing a ski mask, I'd be like,
I'll be petrified.
I'm finna rob these tonight, bro. I look at him like, what you mean you finna rob these tonight? He's like, bro, so sad, Layla, but they got a pound of weed, they got me some money, bro. And if they don't go for it, I'm gonna kill them. That's exactly how he said. At this point, I'm frantic but I can't, like, if I tell Sosa, right, Rob's sitting right next to me, so therefore he's gonna shoot me. So I'm sitting here, I'm scared as hell, so I'm like, I ain't got no choice but to just sit here and just, it is what it is.
Rob told detectives that it was the other way around.
It was so random. Like, he just said he wanted to knock him off. I'm not thinking he's serious, though. Like, at the time, when he first said it, if you would have seen his face, like, bro, he was laughing. Like, if I would have really thought he was finna kill me, like, I wouldn't have got back in that car. I would have stayed right there and called my mom and be like, can you come get me? I didn't think he was serious until when the car started slowing down and I seen him up the gun.
Rob said that Taj did this because he wanted to take Michael's firearm.
I'm so confused right now. This is terrible. What in the world is going on in this little kid?
Over in Chris's interrogation room, his story aligned with Rob's. For now.
What triggered him to just start shooting? I'm trying to figure out. It's something in between that you're not saying.
Because I think the person that the white guy, I think they said he had a lot of money or something.
Oh, so it was set up as a robbery. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So they were setting up the robbery, man.
Did Reaper mention that to you, that something was going to be set up or anything?
He didn't even know. Like, all I heard was pound, and like, I thought somebody was shooting at us, so I hopped out the car and ran.
I'm looking. Boom! Boom!
Once again, Taj's version was a little different.
55 shots. So boom. Layla got shot by Rob because that was diagonal. It was crazy.
Just like that. It took 2 shots. It wasn't no more than that. It took 2 shots to kill both of them.
The police knew at least part of this was true. Who shot who was yet to be determined. But tragically, they'd confirmed the second victim as Layla's boyfriend, Michael Hodo. He was in the grass by the side of the road, just blocks away from Layla. He was deceased when police found him. Michael's father had a heartbreaking reaction when he found out that his son would not be coming home.
My son's dead, isn't he?
I'm sorry to be the one to tell you.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna fast forward this part.
Can they come back out here and help? We have
gunshot.
Where did he shoot her at? And
I don't know.
Rob agreed, which would soon become increasingly rare.
where did he shoot Layla?
Oh, I think it was headshots.
On the other hand, Taj put the blame back on his two companions.
I know he
They
shot
got Taj?
Sosa in the back of the head. I seen that happen. I seen Rob try to shoot her, right? And when he tried to shoot her, he shot her, and then his gun didn't go off, so he reloaded it again and shot her.
All contradictions temporarily aside, Chris added another disturbing detail.
Did he see it coming?
No, it was like to the back of his head.
Okay. Did he have any time to defend himself?
No, but Taj just upped him and shot him in the head.
At this point, police were still searching Forest Lakes Park for evidence. Now that they knew the shooting had occurred in Layla's car, it was more important than ever to find the vehicle. Most of all, though, they were looking for any sign of Camille. They hoped to find her alive, but the police were likely aware that, like Layla, she could be seriously injured and in need of medical attention. If that was the case, every passing moment decreased her
I
chance
think
of
she's
survival.
okay. I think she's okay.
For the time being,
Let's see. I think she's okay.
Want to get back in the car, or did you not? No, you didn't want to. Okay, what made you get back in that car? Explain that.
Because he had a gun. I thought he was going to get shot.
Let's see. Let's see.
Where did they? I don't know. Taj threw Layla out the car and hopped in the driver's seat and started driving.
Rob said Taj repeated the process a short time later.
And Taj pulled his body out the car, patted him down the mechanic. He grabbed the mechanic, got back in the driver's seat, and drove off.
Was that
The hell
next
is
to
the kid?
Layla where she was pulled out?
No, it was in a different spot.
This
Well,
made
what's the
sense to
mechanic, y'all?
police because the second crime scene, where Michael's body was found, didn't have much blood. There were, however, what appeared to be drag marks leading from the road towards the brush where the body lay.
Did you help take? I ain't touch nobody. I ain't touch a body. I ain't touch nothing.
Man said, I ain't
I
got
swear to
nothing
God,
to
I
do
ain't
with
touch
nothing.
nothing. Once they was dead, I said, take me home, man. Take me home.
Yet Taj said that wasn't how it happened.
Rob drives. He pulled Layla out of the car. That's why she got left by the dumpster. He starts driving. He's driving. We go around the corner. He goes over to Sosa. Sosa had, I think, in his somewhere on him. So he pulled Sosa out of the car. He just dragged him over in some woods or something.
And were you driving the car?
No, I was not driving the car.
Yeah.
The detectives asked Chris similar questions.
Did you pull her out of the car?
What is Rob doing during all this?
He was saying that
What's he saying?
he was like, oh, he was like, go.
And what happened next?
Then he drove all the way out there on the Waha. And he tried to put a thing in the river, but I think got stuck or something.
What thing are you talking about? The car. Okay.
Once again, the detectives already had information that would let them know if one of the boys was lying. The search of Forest Lakes Park had finally paid off, leading police to another grisly and tragic discovery.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Taj picked up the story again to tell his version of what they did with Layla's car.
We get over here to this lake. It's dark as hell. 3-5 get out of the car. He got out of the car. Rob tells him, hey, start wiping everything down. So he started wiping everything down. He's wiping everything down. The door handles everything. He's wiping everything down. So after he started wiping everything down, Rob takes Layla's phone or Aunt Sosa's phone or whoever phones he found in that bit, threw him in the lake, throw him in the lake.
The lake in question turned out to be 5.5 miles or 8.8 kilometers outside Forest Lakes Park, but police had no question that this was the scene they were looking for. When they dredged the lake, they recovered the 2 phones from the water, which were determined to be Michael and Layla's. But this wasn't the only evidence they found. Taj attempted to explain And what was found as he continued Rob as the mastermind of the crime.
He tell people I get in the car, drive the car into the lake for whatever reason.
When the detectives asked Chris, though, he said he was nowhere near the car at that point.
Were you in the car when it was going in the river? Or?
Yeah, I was out. I was trying to run back to my house.
You were out of the car. What was Rob doing?
I don't know. I left. I was running back to my house.
What did he say he did with the car after that then? I didn't ask all of that. I didn't ask that. What about the guns that were used? I don't know where those at either.
Oh, it's barely in the lake. Like when he drive, it might be the little 2 front tires in the lake. It might be a little bit more in the hood, but the back of the car, all that is still out of the lake.
That was exactly how the police discovered the car. What they found inside was more gruesome than they had ever anticipated.
It's time to stop relying on your instincts when it comes to picking games. It's time to know analytically how to win.
Back with Chris, he continued his tale.
Describe to me the clothes that you were wearing that night when all these bad things happened. What happened to them?
They wanted us to burn them.
Who wanted you to burn them? Did you have blood or something on them?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
Like Detective Bender said, we processed that car front to back, top to bottom, bottom to top 3 times. 3 days worth of actual forensic work, several forensic people. I don't think you could have sat anywhere in that car and not got blood on you.
Right.
I think it was something on my shoe.
I'm standing over here scared as like I think it's blood all over me, but it's dark, so I don't know. But I think it's blood all over me.
Rob said burning the clothes was all Taj. Taj, of course, said it was Rob. Regardless of who had the idea, the police found the remains of clothing in a burn pile in the forest, including pieces of shoes, sweatpants, and sweatshirts. However, this was not the only clothing item the police discovered intact. Chris's shoes, which he described as Nike slides, were found discarded in the bushes, and a single glove was found near Michael's body. Another was found near the lake. The police asked Taj about this.
So were you wearing gloves at this time?
Yes, I was wearing gloves because, like I said, I was supposed to go hit.
And what about Rob?
Rob was wearing gloves too. Yeah, Rob was wearing gloves.
Taj revealed that the original plan was for the group to go car hopping that night, which was why he was wearing gloves and a ski mask. But police had to wonder if there was a far darker reason the boys brought these items. For now, the detectives wrapped up the conversation with Rob.
Do you feel a little better now that you were honest? Did you need to get that off your chest?
Worse. Now I feel like I just snitched on everybody and
The detective stepped out, but little did Rob know that his night at the police station was far from over. There was a lot more that he needed to fess up to, but for now, he was left alone with his mother.
I'm gonna charge you because you were there and you didn't come forward.
did come forward.
I'm talking about when it happened.
I just told him everything.
I'm just letting you know, bro. You don't
I'm gonna get
understand.
charged for murder. Mama, I was
I don't know.
snitching on everybody. If I was gonna get charged, why did you make me stay?
I said I don't know.
What's the point of snitching?
We're gonna ask you to step out now.
Hey, Mama. Wait, hey, is my mama still here?
Mama.
Wait, Mama.
Talk to
me. Can you see
I was trying to go to
if
work.
they do charge me? Can you see if she can give me a lawyer? I didn't kill anybody.
Relax.
Can you ask her, please?
Rob waited, asking the detective stationed at the door several times to bring his mother back, but she had left to go back to work. Before she did, she informed police that she did not want Rob answering any more questions without a lawyer present. Rob was not on board with this plan.
Is my mama still out there? Hold on. How can I get charged for murder?
Listen,
Can you explain it to me?
hold on. We got it. We're taking your DNA, okay?
While the police took Rob's DNA, fingerprints, and photos, he continued to ask them how it was possible that he would be charged with murder.
Listen, can I tell you the situation, please?
I heard it. Just listen. Let them do their thing. Your mama's not here yet. We can't talk to you.
She's close?
I don't know how far she got, but she is on her way.
Rob's interrogation might have been on pause, but the conversation with Chris remained in full swing. The questions he faced were about to get a whole lot harder.
They executed a search warrant on the house, which they did collect some things, and I'd like to talk to you about those things too. But because you, because it was like a surprise on that.
Yeah, like what was in my house that got to do with this homicide? And
I will, and I'm going to tell you about that because, like I said, I'm not going to leave anything out.
It's I can tell you, it's pretty damning. I guess I would use that word.
So, are you serious?
Do you own any firearms, ma'am? Does anyone in your home own a firearm? Okay, because I'm pretty sure they found 1 or 2 firearms in the house. And I'm sure you guys have watched CSI, right? We can take a firearm, we can shoot it. That round that you shoot, we can take, and we can put it into a computer
and tell you who got
and actually compare it to other fired casings, like the shell from the bullet. How?
You told me who the guns from.
Why would you hold guns from when you know something that dumb just happened? That was stupid.
When Reaper gave you these, you think that they're going to be related to this?
I think so.
Describe to me why you think that.
Because he said, put these up, make sure your mama don't find them.
Okay. And the gun that you saw X-Man use, was it either one of those 2 guns?
I think it's the black one.
Meanwhile, Rob continued to wait.
Didn't kill anybody. I don't want to be charged with murder. I do not want to be charged with murder, bro.
Eventually, the detectives did come back to speak with him, since he was insistent on saying more, even though his mother did not return to the station.
All right, so, I explained to you what your mom said on the phone, right? She didn't want us to ask you any more questions about a lawyer presence. You reapproached me a couple times. You said that you wanted to discuss some stuff further, right? I just want to make sure that we're clear that you don't have to answer a question. You don't have to talk to us.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
My case, I want to talk to you.
They are not
because Rob's mom was no longer present. They read him his Miranda rights again.
This is dirty cop.
Right off the bat, he admitted to additional involvement.
Taj told me to help him pull the body out of the trunk and throw it in the lake. He grabs it. He's trying to pull a leg. And he was like, bro, it's heavy. I need help. So I grabbed one leg. I tried to help. I was like, bro, it's too heavy. I don't want to do this. Put the thing down, left the girl in the trunk. Because I told him I didn't want to help him.
Rob went on to tell a long, rambling tale about selling his gun the day before the crimes took place. The detectives hear him out before dropping a bombshell.
That's an issue because we have that gun now.
No, that's not.
It was at 3-5's house. You said you sold it.
I did. That's not my gun. That one's not mine. That's not my gun.
In addition to this, the police strongly suspected Rob had stolen the firearm.
Show your daughter how much you love her with this beautiful gift.
Wow,
it says, to my daughter,
story.
Never.
You might tell the truth that you didn't pull a trigger, but you knew this was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen.
I did not know this.
The detectives had a similar exchange with Taj.
We've sent some of the casings off to be examined already. It's not back, I'll tell you that. Otherwise, we wouldn't probably be having this conversation. That those casings aren't going to come back, like he said, to a third gun.
To a third gun, they shouldn't.
Multiple casings were found at all 3 crime scenes, but especially near the car at the lake. Even if the boys weren't budging on the issue of who shot who, lab tests would reveal the truth in due time. In the meantime, the detectives brought up something 2 of the boys in particular were probably dreading.
Let's talk about the trunk of that car.
The trunk.
There's another part that we haven't talked about.
The girl.
Trunk. It was a girl in the trunk.
Bingo.
And he told me to open the trunk. And he shot her.
Oh.
Where did he tell you to open the trunk from?
You see this right now?
He told me to open the trunk from the inside, like the inside.
Okay.
And whenever you pulled that open, tell me about what you saw in there.
All I seen was luggage, and then he said move, and then he shot.
Okay. You said all you saw was luggage?
Luggage and it was like a girl.
And what part of her body could you see? Could you see her feet or hair, her hand? Describing
I seen hair.
I did not even know it was another person in the trunk at all.
Okay. So you just riding around and she just in there?
Yeah. I mean, we rode around like that before, though.
Just because there ain't no room for all the people?
Just because there ain't no room for all the people.
When you go to open up that seat, what were you thinking in your head?
Like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. I was confused. I was like, I was thinking like there's a person back there.
Did this person say something? Describe to me what you heard. What you heard whenever you opened that seat up. What noises?
All I heard was somebody telling me to watch out, and I heard gunshot. 2 gunshots.
Tragically, the third victim was determined to be none other than Camille. Her body was discovered 2 days after Layla was found on April 1st. Like Chris said, she'd been shot twice. The location of her wounds indicated that her death had been no accident. It was highly unlikely that Camille had been shot once in the back and once in the head by chance. As soon as she was identified, law enforcement made contact with her aunt, Amy, for a difficult conversation.
So you probably know why we're here, where we've been investigating the incident that happened Friday involving Layla and the other individual that was found deceased.
You know, it took us a little while because we couldn't positively identify her, so it took us a little while. But you know, we're certain that it's Camille that is now deceased.
Probably to detectives' surprise, Amy remained stoic. As it turned out, she already knew Camille was deceased.
The grandpa of Layla actually came to my house when I found your card, telling me that Camille was deceased and how are you doing is what he told me. They were talking about
Camille
it at the hospital that Camille was deceased already. I had a mother call me at midnight last night that, my phone has not stopped.
While Amy tried to come to terms with the loss of her niece, the detectives at the police station asked Chris more about the specifics of Camille's murder.
What happened after he shot her?
He closed it, and we left.
How many times did he shoot her?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna.
I think once, twice.
What is it? One twice. Twice? Okay. Do you know what part of her body he shot her?
No, when I opened it, he go empty, so I looked away.
As if this wasn't horrific enough, Taj put forth an even more disturbing version of events. Predictably, he insisted he was not the shooter. The culprit he named was spine-chilling.
Who folds the seat down?
3-5, because he was on the side, so he hops out of the car, right? He get out of the car, flip the seat down, boom, hit her once. So he shot her once.
Where did he shoot her?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't see exactly where he shot her at all. And then she's not dead yet. So Rob sees that and he shoots her to make sure she's dead. So Layla got one headshot and then Camille got 2 because she wasn't dead yet.
For once, Rob agreed with Taj, at least partially. Before his mom left the police station, he told this to the police.
It was 3-5 that did that. 3-5 dropped the seat and shot the girl, and he shot her in the head. And Taj like, shoot the in the back, shoot the in the back. 3-5 dropped the back seat and he shot the girl. She was still alive. He's like, finish her. So he shot her again.
3-5, police knew, was Chris's street name. Still, something wasn't quite right. After getting this far, the police were not willing to accept anything short of the full truth.
Now, Reaper, Rob, there's a lot of similarities that are overlapping here, but there's definitely a discrepancy that Rob told us about what happened to the person in the trunk.
They're trying to make him the shooter, right? Yeah, that's what y'all leaving out. I mean, be honest. Be honest. We being all being honest here. Just be honest. Is he the shooter? That's what they're saying. That's all y'all gotta do. That's all you gotta do is just say that. I mean, stop going around it.
I can tell you that he is not. You, Chris, are not being blamed for those people in the front seat.
In the back seat is what the trunk. It's the one that
we have some issues with the trunk.
I'm gonna keep it real about.
Tell us. Be honest, baby.
At Harbor Freight, we're committed to keeping our quality high and our prices low. How do we do it?
He told me. Somebody else did it.
No.
Okay.
That's not true.
Your brother talked.
Days ago, I told you guys that this young lady.
Can
tell you what who got
Can actually compare it to other
exchange with Taj.
We've sent some of the casings off to be.
I need help. So I grabbed one leg.
Because Rob's mom was no longer present, they read him his Miranda rights again. Right off the bat, he admitted to additional involvement.
Taj told me to help him pull the body out of the trunk and throw it in the lake.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and put a pause on it right here. If you want to see the rest of this, you could go to that video right there on the thumbnail, or I could come back later on and finish it out. It was nice listening to this story, but we're gonna get to the end later on. Peace and blessings, y'all. We'll be back on later on. All right, let's go.